Alright, we're out here today to look at two knives that are very similar, and they actually used to be part of the same company. One is the LTWK Bushcrafter, and the other one is a Battle Horse Bushcrafter. This one is the LTWK. It has black micarta, I think. It could be G10 though, I'm not entirely sure. It didn't tell in the description from where I bought it from Knives Ship Free. It's 1/8 of an inch A2. And I like it pretty well. Here's the Battle Horse. It is 4mm 5/32 01, and it has green canvas micarta, and it has a much rounder handle than the LTWK. The handle is much better rounded in comparison. This one's more square. It's been radius at the corners, chamfered or radius, however you want to word that, but it's not perfectly done. Anyway, we're just going to compare the two. I'm going to give you my thoughts on which one you should buy. Again, so there's the Battle Horse logo. Let's see if we can get the Pouthouse symbol in there. So there you go, just to show the difference. First impressions, this one, I'll tell you the things I've done really fast to modify them. This one came polished, the handle, and I took the polish off to give me a little better grip. I've changed the edge to my own liking. The only thing I've really done to this one, it came polished as well, and I've tried to sand some of that off, give me a little more texture. And again, I've changed the edge. This one's mirror polished. I'll show you that they're sharp. Let me get a piece of paper. So, regular old copy paper here. Alright. Throw that out of the way. Regular old copy paper. This is the LTWK. Again, both of these are my edges, but they're both very sharp. Alright, and now for the Battle Horse. Oops, that was a little out of focus. Both of them push-cut computer paper, printer paper, very easily. So, we'll begin by batoning, and I'll use, I guess, the LTWK first. So, let's get set up for that. Alright. Now, I know y'all aren't going to really be able to see me fully doing this, but it's the LTWK on this piece of cedar. This is a eastern juniper, red cedar. Alright, so the LTWK splits just fine. Let's try it now with the Battle Horse. Same piece of wood. They both split pretty well. Again, we'll do the Battle Horse, and then I'll do the LTWK one more time. Alright. Now back to the LTWK. So what to say, those are both very easy at doing that. There's nothing really to compare about the two. They both split really well. I think maybe the Battle Horse has a slight advantage because it is thicker. I don't know though. Hard to tell. But alright. So now we'll do some carving tasks. I'm actually going to baton again, I lied. I'm going to get this back down to a smaller piece of wood to make feather stick on. Alright. Baton. This is the LTWK. Not so much curling this wood. Let me take that piece off. Gotta get that split off. There we go. Let's try in this corner. See if we get any curl out of it. So not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. Takes a pretty nice little shape. Now we'll test the battle horse, doing the same thing. This is interesting. This one with the convex that I've kind of got on the edge wants to just bite a whole lot more than it does when I carve. It's not wanting to make this thin little shavings. Now again, that might be my edge because I convex this one quite a lot. This is a convex, fully convex edge. The other ones, the LT it's been V-ground sharpened at the edge and then stropped. So there's a micro convex bevel, if you will, at the edge itself. But this battle horse is taking thicker shavings. I can tell that, but it's possibly due to my edge. But it too makes decent shavings. Let's try it on the white part of the wood here, where honestly you could potentially get better better shavings and things. And again, it's just still wanting to bite the wood a lot more, but it's doing it fine. Alright, let's try that with the LT on the white part of the cedar. Yeah, it's not biting as deeply per se. It's more lighter feather work here. Yes. So I think that's my own edges, honestly, rather than the knives, but both of them do this just fine. Okay. So now let's see if they'll strike a fire steel, shall we? We're using the battle horse. See if they'll strike this fire steel. Yeah, striking the fire steel just fine. See if we can catch anything here. See if we can catch any of these shavings. I don't know if we will be able to or not, but we'll give it a go. Oh, we had to flame there for a second. It kind of died out on me. Oh, there we go. We got flame with the battle horse. So the battle horse will make flame on just feather sticks. same ferro rod. Now the LT right and the feather stick it carved. Let's see if it will catch any of these on fire. Whoa! We got flame. I don't know if I can get it to catch anything else. No, it kind of went out. But we had flame there for a second, so let's try that again. I'm not having as great a luck here as I should be, probably. I had another flame, but it was just not enough to catch. Alright, there we go. Much better. So yeah, we had two little flames start, individual feathers start with the LT right, but it took another attempt to make that. But neither one of these do bad at scraping the fire seal. They both do really, really well. Admittedly, the LT right came sharper at the spine than the Battle Horse came. Try to ward off some of these mosquitoes. Right? They're out in full force. Chomping on me and stuff, man. So, both knives baton well, both knives carve really well. Let's look at the edges, see if there's any damage. There's no damage to the LT right from this task. Nor is there any to the Battle Horse that I can tell. Albeit in the past I have damaged the 01 on the Battle Horse. So that's interesting to note. Now, I have a green stick, and I have the Battle Horse, and I'm going to see if it will make any kind of notches for me. I can move these over here, put those out in a second. But so for a tent stake notch, the Battle Horse does really, really well. It knocked that out really quickly. Try the LT. So it too makes a very good notch. Let's do it like that. Okay. So they both make very good 10 stake notches. You know, let's see depth into the wood. How about that? That's another test I like to test. So there you go. It went that far into the wood before it glanced up out of it and went through the wood. Just kept gliding, splitting out the wood. Alright, the battle horse's turn. It's going to be harder for y'all to tell, I think. That's how far the battle horse went into the wood. Similar depth, I suppose. Let's try it again on this thinner portion of the wood. Battle horse went, you know, about a third of the way through. And with the LT right, we're going just as deep, and it's not even convex. I think that's due to the thinness of that edge. So both of them bite decently well. I really don't know what else to show y'all. We could get slightly abusive and cross-grain. We can do that. Hell, why not? Let's cross-grain a piece of cedar. Alright. Piece of cedar. And LT right. And a baton. Let's cross-grain some wood here. Pretty good, I think. Alright, now compare that to... Wow. Dan's knife did really well there. Holy cow. That was really impressive. I need to do that again. Different piece of wood now. Slightly thicker. LT right. Very impressive there. And again, the battle horse. Damn, they're both very impressive and cross-grain. The cedar. Very cool. Alright. We'll do one last bit of feather sticking here. This is with the battle horse. Alright, so that did pretty well. Kind of thick feathers, but it still did well. LT right. Too does really well and cuts right through those feathers. Okay, so final conclusions about the two knives. They're both really good, quite frankly. I like the shape of the handle on the battle horse better. I like the 4mm thickness of the blade better. Now onto the LT, its advantages. I like the A2 steel better than the 01. Also, I like the difference in ricassos here. The LT right has a smaller ricasso, which is this unsharpened portion between the edge and the handle. I like that better than here on how you have like 1/2 inch or something, 3/8 of an inch of unsharpened blade. It's just a waste of steel to me. Really, I'd like to see this brought back like almost to the handle. That's just me, because otherwise, for some carving, I'd have to choke up a lot closer to the blade like this. which that does give you an advantage here on the Battle Horse. You have more to hold on to there, but still, I'd like more blade rather than more that. So, both have their advantages. One has a better handle. One has better steel, in my opinion. So, it's just a give or take. Which do you want? I've never had this knife flex on me, even in crazy knots, the Battle Horse. I've never had it flex. Whereas this one, I had it in a crazy knot, and I had a pretty good flex on it, so I pulled it out before, and it didn't break. It returned perfectly to true. So the heat treat on this blade is still really, really good for 1/8 of an inch thick. I've had the Battle Horse edge kind of roll out on me on a knot one time. I was not very amused by that. I've never seen any kind of edge deformation with LT Wright's A2. I have to admit that. So, final paper cut. The LT Wright on the final paper cut. It's still pretty sharp from where we batoned it and whittled with it. It is still cutting the paper pretty well. Again, not too awful bad there. Now the Battle Horse. It's still cutting really, really well too. So, overall, for knives that are of the same price, that originally were made by the same company, and then the company split, and now you have two options. It's totally up to you which one you pick. I choose both. I picked both. I got both, and I'm not disappointed with either. I have preferences as to which I like better, and I told you those. I like the thickness of this blade, the roundness of the handle. I like the steel of this blade and the smaller ricasso, so I have more cutting edge. It's just, it's up to you ultimately which one you choose, but I don't think either one are a bad knife. They're both really, really, really good knives. They both come with high quality leather sheaths. This isn't the sheath that the Battle Horse came with. It came with a sheath that looks just like this, except it had a ferro loop here, and it too had a dangler like the JRE. So they both come with very similar sheaths. They both have dangler loop options, and they both have ferro rod options. The only real difference in the sheath is the end nose of it, whether it's squared off or rounded off. So, both really good knives, really good sheaths, both really good companies overall. I highly recommend you go check out LT Wright knives and Battle Horse knives. And they don't just make bushcrafters, man. They make hunting knives, they make competition choppers, they make, just some awesome handcrafted knives. So, whichever you prefer, I totally recommend you get one of them. Alright, thanks.